You're in the middle of the road on a right side, you see? That was a paid stunt double. I dropped my bag and shoes. How does it work? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome finally to this Nordic adventure signed by F5V Evans. In today's journey, we will cover the first kilometers that separate us from Nord. Over 10,000 kilometers, many beautiful roads, many breathtaking landscapes that I will share with one of my best friends. Good morning, Mr. Giacomocini.
Ensure everything is connected properly or it won't function.
Mr. Giacomocini, we are two in this adventure. Few but good. We are with our little beasts, and to tell the truth, not exactly ours. Because as you well know, I didn't just buy a Tracer 9 Grand touring to head to Nordkapp. In fact, the motorcycle, as you can also see from the t-shirt, was lent to me by Yamaha for this July. So Nordkapp-like.
What can we say? It did us a favor. It matched us chromatically.
Exactly, yes. A beautiful red Tracer 9 Grand touring along with a red Multistrada, also Pikes Peak. Many miles, as we said before. And are you ready to face them? Yes, we have to go quail hunting. We try not to cross over, but to get close as possible to the border. We will stop in Vicenza, also because in Vicenza I have an important meeting, which you will see later in this video. Despite this, there are long hours on the highway. The first refueling stop on Italian highways is practically a robbery. We faint with this full tank. We stay in communication thanks to our intercoms. Another important thing you should know is that we are going to Nord. I mean, at least I'm going to Nord for two reasons. The first is to taste deer meat and moose meat. The second is to take a bath in the Atlantic Ocean.
Atlantic Ocean.
This is the mood. You know, every trip of mine includes a cold shower. At least here it will really be a cold, very cold bath. Did you bring the swimsuit?
Obviously.
Perfect, we're all set. We can leave.
Mr. Giacomocini.
Here we are. Our adventure to the north begins.
Towards cooler shores.
Yes, let's say we're going to look for some coolness.
I didn't specifically say how we prepared for this trip, but guys, I can assure you that we are really prepared for everything. Speaking of roads, Mr. Giacomocini, you know where we need to get to, but you don't know which roads we'll take. I'm gonna give you a great joy. We won't take all the highways. Today, for example, for you who are of Tuscan origin, I have planned an itinerary that will make you feel at home. In fact, we will pass through Giogo, Futa, and Raticosa, stuff that you should know. I'm thinking about Menadito, more or less.
But here I prove you wrong because as a Tuscan, I have always sought roads outside my region.
Have you never taken these 3 steps?
On a motorcycle? No.
Incredible, oh well.
But we can say that there's always a first time for everything.
Exactly. There's always a first time for everything. I'm glad you're doing it with me. All of this, guys, little montage sequence. See you at the next stop. Also due to the vast stretches of highway here. After passing the Incisa and Righello toll booth, we're ready to stretch our legs with Giacomo. Are you ready?
Absolutely, yes.
By the way, it's also time for you to start feeling the new tires you've put on.
Absolutely.
Since for the occasion we both have mounted Michelin Road 6, Giacomo Road 6 Grand Touring, I have the Road 6 Classics. Given that my Tracer weighs a bit less compared to his, and also because Giacomo's carrying also tools and technical stuff weighs more. So the GTs are more suitable, and I'm curious to know your satisfaction index. In short, how do you feel them? How are they? They are monstrous in the wet, so let's hope we don't end up there, but I tell you that in case of wet, it seems like it's with slicks on the track. On the dry. Apart from the changes in direction, maybe a bit slow, in general, it goes very well. It really needs the curves anyway. I was about to get an absurd drowsiness. Mr. Giacomo, how are you?
So far, so good. I still need to get used to the changes in direction.
And the increased weight due to the bags and all the equipment.
Because I've always traveled, let's say, alone and quite light, I'm starting to understand.
No, well, of course it's clear you have to get a bit used to traveling with bags, especially when leaning into turns. It's not very easy in traffic, what can I tell you? But let's give Caesar what is Caesar's. Those SV modes on your multistrada are really good. I have a doubt, but I believe this is the game's move. Possible, guys? Write it in the comments. And I must say that it's nice to be cool. Goodness, to paint it! How is this tracer going in the Tuscan hills? Goodness, what a sight! Can you believe I've never made the game move? Super tiring, but I did it. However, the game is really 10 times more beautiful. A quick mix bar, tight every now and then.
Varied enough.
Gentlemen, we've reached Mugello. I thought it was farther. We'll snap a picture and go. First stop conquered. I'm supercharged, guys. And after leaving the Mugello racetrack and the gas station behind, we continue our adventure towards the Ladigosa Chalet. The next point, the stop, where we will refresh ourselves a little. That will be it, in fact. So, if I'm not mistaken, this should be the Radicosa Pass, I guess. Oh, this is the game pass. What did we do before? I just read the directions. It was simply a spectacular road. This, guys, is the game, so the next one will be Radicosa and then the tip. My goodness, this pass is cool, but are we in the Dolomites? Middle of the road on the right side, that was a paid counterflower. Okay, from here I believe officially starts the Futa and the Radigosa. Radigosa 13 kilometers, Paso de la Fuga practically now. With this weather definitely cooler. Arrived at the Radicosa Chalet, I would say, Mr. Giacomocini, rest with the snack put and we leave again for Vicenza.
Do you know what's nice about Vicenza?
What's nice are the lights, is Santa Claus the stones.
After our break in the cool 21 degrees at the Radicosa Chalet and finished lunch with a nice Tuscan flatbread filled with raw ham, it's time for us to continue our itinerary and point our wheels towards our next stop, which is the Danish headquarters in Vicenza. Okay, I think this wasn't supposed to happen. It was going and a bag opened up completely. A bag with clothes and shoes. Let's try to retrieve everything, even though it might be a very risky thing to do. James Pig, my bag and shoes fell. Did you get the bag? Yet a shoe? No, then a lot of trucks passed, a lot of things. The shoe must have moved. The bag resisted. Thank goodness. Well, it could have been worse. Wonderful! Bag recovered. Fortunately, Yamaha gave us the inner bags. Otherwise, by now, everything would have been scattered on the highway, so we put it all back in and leave again. Mr. Giacomocini, good morning. Second day of travel. Today direction. Well, we calculate the second day of travel direction today.
We cross over to Munich, Bavaria.
Munich of Bavaria, so we leave Italy to move to German territory. Do you confirm?
I confirm.
You really are a policeman anyway. When you look at me, you don't even blink. This thing worries me a lot. Anyway, let's move on to happier things to talk about. Breakfast is coming. You discussed me a bit with your Kellogg's. This diet thing will end anyway. We're on a trip. I'll make it end tomorrow night. I'll make it end. You'll see.
I will keep the promises I made and eat well.
Yeah, all right, okay. This diet will end tomorrow night. Come on. And after this first morning stop at Dareland in San Giovanni, we are finally ready to get back on the road. As we told you this morning at breakfast, we're heading to Munich, Bavaria. It's the first day of the trip. This is because the tour was actually supposed to start today. However, since it's just us, we decided, also considering the visit to Denise, to start a day early. And to take it easy. Also because otherwise Rome to Munich would have been quite a slog. Are you ready? On a scale of 1 to 10, your readiness is a 7. Be aware of the risk of rain today. Obviously, to avoid unpleasant mishaps like yesterday's, the shoes this time went into the bags. SV Motec by Giacomo. I would say, however, to proceed without delay, since we are still about 500 and some kilometers away from Munich, Bavaria. And after a few kilometers on the highway, we finally arrived at the Plessis Museum, which is the last stop where you can buy the vignettes. We both got a vignette for just under 11 euros for 10 days. Specific for the motorcycles that we are going to attach now warmly on our windshields. An important thing to say is that if you see us with rain gear on, it's because 200 meters before here, we got caught in an endless downpour. We arrived, dressed up, and went inside to get the vignettes. We came out, perfect.
Could there ever have been a different time?
Perfect. Anyway, please proceed with the application of the vignette. You even spit on it first. Do you blow on it or spit on it?
Spit.
Spit on it.
Always helps, always helps.
So we've arrived at the toll booth, guys, after a bit more rain.
With the vignette. At the toll booth, they asked us to pay. We were at the other toll booth. We backed out because we already had the vignette. I don't get why we have to pay again. Let's see what they say. How does it work? I buy the vignette.
This is another Austrian highway with a base station.
Okay. I didn't understand much, just that we had to repay. That's what I gathered. The vignette is valid, but not for this route. Quite a screw-up if we want, because the cost of the vignette was 10 and 50, and the cost of this trip was 10 and 50. So I don't understand. I'm starting to wonder if many times maybe we could avoid this blessed vignette. Anyway, let's resume our march, guys. This is the time. A 60-degree curve that we will tackle at 18 billion kilometers because we have the R6 that gives the maximum on the wet. Giacomo? We are almost 1,000 kilometers from the start.
Exactly.
950 kilometers to reach the first major milestone. And we can say that almost a quarter of the journey has been done in 2 days. It's a pity that Norway, which doesn't seem so, will take our soul, as it is truly a long country.
Remember, in Norway, the speed limits are 90 kilometers per hour.
Even 50. And the great thing, folks, great for a pair of balls, though. The Norwegians. Speed limits are strictly enforced due to the challenging winter road conditions, which can be intense yet beautiful. So the limits they set are not random. They are so low precisely for that reason. And if you exceed them, if they catch you exceeding them, in addition to receiving a hefty fine to pay there, on the spot if the speed excess is so high, besides paying the fine, they escort you to the border, noting your license plate and everything else. You can't simply leave and return like in Monopoly. Understood, Mr. Giacomocini?
Absolutely.
You have to go slow with me. Here, check out this view. We've extended by half an hour, Giacomo, but I think it's worth it. It's not exactly the fastest way to get to Munich, but it's certainly the most beautiful one. You can swim here, and considering it's 4-post meridian, we might even dare to do so.
I must tell all of you.
I would dare to take a little swim. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the adventure, we need to somehow prepare ourselves for North Cape. So, because of the photo stop, there's a brilliant idea to undress and enter this lake.
It's very beautiful and seems very clean, although I don't know what it's called.
Should we try the Atlantic? Let's start.
We're taking small steps here. Guys,
Guys, no.
No, Giacomo, you don't do these things. They're really asshole moves.
Guys, put in the comments if I should push him into the water next time.
No, no. Don't put anything in the comments. I'll do it slowly.
guys, I don't know what the Atlantic is like, but it's definitely cooler than this. Well, let's say we took a half bath, we kept the promise halfway, we get ready again, and we leave.
The last ones?
200 kilometers? No.
No, less.
100 kilometers? Come on, we're here. It's arrived now.
And after so much water and so many kilometers, we finally arrived in Munich. You can tell from the traffic, Munich is the new Rome, indeed. Thank goodness the guys are not in communication with Giacomo, because Giacomo is not filming because he's a bit cursing with the fact that he has an iPhone battery at 4%. He has no way to charge it and doesn't know where to go without me and my navigator. Don't get lost, eh? Stay on the left. Giacomo? Guys, I really lost Giacomo. So, we arrive in our hotel room on the 20th floor, a room that I didn't expect to have on this floor. But happy to have taken it on this floor with Mr. Giacomo. Having fun?
Having fun?
Cool down. It's possible that both the lake water and the water we took were contaminated. Today we will sleep here in Munich, and tomorrow we will go to visit SVMOTEC. As you know, I'm a brand ambassador for SVMOTEC because the young gentlemen present here have a very sore ass. Already after 1,000 kilometers, so to make us the other 3,000, 3,005 up to Nordkapp.
In comfort.
We opted for a very, very particular but very useful accessory from SVMOTEC, which we will show you in a moment. Here we are finally at SVMOTEC, the main headquarters, the German one, where we are now. Let's go in, I'll introduce you to Alexander, and we'll proceed to sort out the saddle issue. Once inside the SVMOTEC showroom, here is the angel who will save us. Thank you, Alexander. And in the meantime, it's a pleasure to have arrived here at the headquarters after having seen and tried your products for several years now. Seeing them here, so to speak, being made, or anyway, I feel a bit at home. A long journey from Rome, about 1,600 kilometers. Today, I need you to provide something that will save both of us. Giacomo is also involved in this. What are they specifically?
And these are the pads that you can put on the saddle if there's a saddle that's too hard. And if you don't like it, you have to do many miles like you. So there's this solution that one can take. This traveler, comfort traveler, rider pad. There's all these English names and we pull everything out. There's a protective film for the paint and an assembly manual, and it's explained there how to put this inside. There's this pad that needs to be inflated, and then once inflated, here there are these different little pads on the pad. And then they inflate. And then you put it inside of this, how do you say it in Italian?
Container?
Container. And then yes, once it's inflated, it closes, and then there are these straps. They go under the saddle, and then once fastened, off to Norway, to the North Cape.
In comfort, all the way to Norway.
Yes.
After 1,600 kilometers, we've earned it. And after leaving the SVMOTEC plant behind us, with Alexander, who I thank again, we installed the saddle. Once we arrived at a refueling station, and I must say that now the comfort is absolute. The system is spectacular, the installation is very easy, thanks also to the quick release system of the pilot saddle that the Tracer 9 Grand Touring has. We set off for Kassel, but for us, after 1,600 kilometers of recording, it's time to say goodbye. Guys, I invite you to subscribe to the channel to see the continuation of this adventure that will take us all the way to North Cape. Then activate the bell so you don't miss these video releases. A like, a comment, and a share are always appreciated. Thank you for watching, and also thanks to Yamaha for providing this Tracer 9 Grand Touring. All that's left for me to do is say goodbye. See you in the next video. Bye, guys. Are you happy to have seen this stuff so rusted by salt, by iodine? Are you happy to have brought me all the way to Copenhagen? And here to see this stuff? Yes, incredible. Hello, do you speak Italian?
Of course, I'm Italian.
Where can I find...
Some drugs.
No, not that extreme. Thank you all.